Listen up. What I'm about to reveal could completely flip your view on XRP and why the next leg up might not be a few dollars. It could be in the thousands. Strap in. Trump-era policy shifts, institutional buying surges, hidden on-chain footprints. This changes everything. And you'll want to watch every second because the moment you tune out, you might miss the very clue that separates the gains from the regret. Here's the bottom line. If you're sitting on the sidelines of XRP, you might be underestimating one of crypto's most underrated rockets. Today, I uncover the insider moves, real-time tweets, the institutions lining up, the risk factors nobody's talking about. And yes, I'll answer the $10,000 question. Could XRP actually hit that? Stick around because what I'll share at the end will reframe how you think about crypto opportunity in 2025. The surge you're seeing in XRP isn't just hype, it's driven by institutional strategy. Ripple and its token XRP have quietly positioned themselves for a wave of real-world adoption. A major Ripple-backed company is preparing to go public, planning to raise over $1 billion and treat XRP as a treasury asset. That means serious money, big waves, and a change in supply and demand. That's not speculation, that's structural. When institutions treat XRP like treasury capital, it tightens supply. It changes the narrative from altcoin gamble to corporate balance sheet asset. And here's something that sent the community into overdrive. Ripple's CTO posted a single-word message: "Congrats." No context, no explanation, but the community exploded. Every time he posts something cryptic, it signals something brewing behind the scenes. That one word might have hinted at upcoming partnerships, relistings, or institutional moves. These small signals matter. In crypto, coded communication often precedes massive news. That kind of buzz fuels anticipation, and anticipation drives volume. Now, let's talk regulation. Under previous administrations, XRP lived under a cloud of uncertainty. That's changing fast. The government's tone toward crypto infrastructure has softened, and Ripple is emerging from the shadows with growing legitimacy. The lawsuit that once haunted XRP has become one of the biggest turnaround stories in crypto history. Imagine this: regulatory risk drops, supply tightens, institutions line up, while the mainstream still sees XRP as just another altcoin. That misunderstanding is the opportunity. Here's how this unfolds. The supply shock begins when institutions accumulate XRP for reserves, pulling coins off exchanges. Less supply means upward pressure. Utility surges as XRP's ledger is used for global payments and liquidity. Regulatory clarity improves, unlocking institutional capital. And as the narrative shifts from speculation to infrastructure, momentum accelerates. But what if I told you there's still one huge data point that could completely reprice XRP? And when it hits, the move could be exponential. Stay with me, because in a few minutes I'll break down exactly how XRP could realistically reach $10,000 and what needs to happen to get there. First, let's confront the three main objections people throw at XRP. They say it's old, it's over, the upside is gone. They say regulation is still a risk, and they say $10,000 is impossible. Let's break those down. XRP being old isn't a weakness, it's a weapon. It's one of the few digital assets with real-world testing, scalability, and institutional trust. While new coins come and go, XRP's infrastructure is proven. That's why big players see it as a stable foundation, not a gamble. The second objection: regulation. True, XRP fought one of the toughest legal battles in crypto. But now that battle has given it clarity. It's a blueprint for how digital assets can operate legally in the US. That's a head start over almost every other project still facing uncertainty. The third objection: $10,000. Let's talk numbers. Suppose XRP captures a small fraction of global cross-border payments. just a few percent of trillions of dollars moved each year. Suppose corporations start holding XRP as a liquidity asset. Suppose more supply keeps getting locked up by long-term holders and institutions. Those variables together could push market cap into the trillions, putting XRP in the multi-thousand-dollar range. Is it guaranteed? No. Is it possible? Absolutely. We're not claiming it happens tomorrow. We're saying the pathway exists and the foundation is being laid right now. Here's the trigger that could ignite everything. A major global settlement network choosing XRP as its official rail for multi-trillion-dollar transactions. When that happens, and signs point that way, market sentiment will flip overnight. Let's address the doubts. Some say XRP might be left behind in the next bull run. Others worry about another wave of regulation, or that the broader crypto market could collapse. But XRP is not just another speculative asset. It's infrastructure. It's designed for speed, liquidity, and interoperability. Even if the market corrects, the systems built on XRP still move real value. That makes it far more resilient than meme coins or hype tokens. And about regulation, global policy is shifting. More governments are recognizing the need for efficient settlement systems. That means clarity, not chaos, for Ripple and XRP. And with institutional adoption rising, it's becoming a safer bet for major players, not a risky gamble for retail traders. Now let's visualize the scenario where this all connects. Corporate balance sheets holding XRP, exchanges treating it like a digital bond, banks using it for liquidity management, governments integrating it into cross-border systems. When that happens, XRP isn't a coin anymore. It's infrastructure. It's digital plumbing for the global economy. And in that scenario, a $10,000 valuation isn't a dream. It's math meeting momentum. The smart investors aren't waiting for headlines. They're positioning quietly, understanding that perception always shifts before price does. Think about it. The best gains in history happened when few believed. Bitcoin under $1, Ethereum under 10, XRP under 50 cents. Every cycle has disbelief right before liftoff. We're in that phase now. XRP is sitting at the crossroads of regulation, adoption, and scarcity, a trifecta you almost never see line up at once. Let's recap. Regulatory clarity is growing. Institutional involvement is deepening. Utility is real. Supply is tightening. The narrative is shifting from uncertainty to inevitability. All the ingredients for a massive move are aligning. Now picture this. The next announcement drops. A global settlement system names XRP as the underlying rail. Exchanges start reporting liquidity surges. Ripple announces new financial partnerships. The community rallies, and the price explodes as the world finally realizes what the XRP army has known all along. That's the moment the headlines flip from XRP's overhyped to XRP leads the financial revolution. And the ones who positioned early? They'll be the ones everyone else calls lucky. But it won't be luck, it'll be preparation meeting opportunity. So ask yourself right now, are you preparing or are you waiting? Are you observing from the sidelines or are you part of the revolution? Because when this moves, it won't wait for approval. It'll move fast, and those already in position will benefit the most. This isn't financial advice, it's financial awareness. The greatest transfer of wealth happens quietly, and we're living through one of those times. If this opened your eyes, then it's time to act. Smash that like button. Drop your XRP price prediction in the comments. Subscribe for more insider-level analysis, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Let's push this information through the algorithm and wake up the entire XRP army. Stay sharp, stay focused, and remember, every great financial story starts with disbelief and ends with inevitability. The XRP story is still being written. Be part of it. The next chapter could change everything.